All right, just some thoughts on anxiety. Just having talked to quite a few different people in our class and stuff on our website, like seeing some common trends on how preparation seems to affect a lot to do with anxiety. Now, I know this is kind of common sense. We tend to be afraid of what we're not prepared for. Plus, I know you're this type or that type, or there's a chemical imbalance and that affects it, and you're on medication. I know. But like generally speaking, for most of the people, most of the time, it seems to be that anxiety is in fact just some kind of brain mechanism to tell us we're simply not prepared here, right? Simple enough, and we all kind of already understand this. You're not going to have anxiety over tying your shoes. You're not going to have anxiety over charging your cell phone. Like, you already know how to do these things. Now, maybe the first time you ran into these obstacles when you were a kid, you freaked out a little bit, but once you learn how to deal with it, then the fear went away. So just as we get older, just the problems get more complex, they get larger, and then you still get that childish, scared of the monster under your bed, freak out, anxiety kind of feeling, and a lot of it is unconscious because you don't even know what the hell to prepare for, because there's so many different things coming at you as you get older, so many responsibilities, and you can't even see where the next slap in the back of the head is coming, right? I remember talking to one person, and they were saying, oh yeah, last year I struggled so much with anxiety. And I said, oh, well, what did you do to get over it? They said, I wrote it down. I wrote down all the things that were giving me anxiety, and then I just got to work at getting those off my list, and the anxiety went away. I was like, that's pretty straightforward. Tell me... Tell me a little bit more. What'd you do there? It's like, well, when I would get those feelings of anxiety, I knew there'd be 100 different things, and I would just grab one. And when I could grab one thing that I was freaking out about, I'd write it down. And then that didn't do anything. I went on to the next one, went about my life, got freaked out again when I was going to bed, when I was waking up, and I would try and chase down what am I really afraid of. And I would get down on the core as much as I could, and I would write another one down. And some of these were easy, and some of these were hard, and have to talk out with my friends, or I'd have to research, and some of them were a real bitch to really get to the core of. But I eventually had this little shit list of these 13 things that were giving me anxiety, and a lot of them started to repeat themselves, and then I just went to work on those issues. I'm like, oh shit, well, how did you do that? A lot of them, by the time I was able to actually write them down, it was just self-explanatory, like, I'm afraid of my car breaking down on the freeway. Okay, write down a phone number of a tow truck company and an Uber and download it onto your phone and do all these different things to get your car prepared of if my car actually breaks down on the freeway on the way to work, that I'm not going to be stuck out in the middle of nowhere. I actually have a series of backup plans. Like, oh, and then you go put in the work and voila, the anxiety largely decreases. And then from there, you're on a run because now you're feeling a little bit better. So now it's going to be a tiny bit easier to attack the next challenge. But it was just that Tony Robbins take action bullshit that actually works. Actually writing down on a list, what are the 13 things that are freaking me out? That phase one is going to take some time because it's your unconscious trying to tell your conscious I'm afraid of something. You don't even know what it is, right? For me personally, as I've gotten older, that process has been able to speed up a lot more. When I was 25 and I had a lot of anxiety, it would take me a very long time to figure it out, diagnose it, write it down, talk to other people, do some research and get to work on it, right? Now that I'm freaking 40, that process is so much faster. I have anxiety pretty quick. I'm able to figure out, oh, this is where it's coming up from. I'm actually feeling unprepared for this, this, and this. I then write that down, get it chopped down. Doesn't look like a big deal anymore. Move on to the next one. So we've all got huge problems in life. I know you got anxiety, and some of the big ones, you might have a hell of a battle there. But if you can get a lot of the little ones out of the way, that can give you the leverage to then have a chance of attacking the larger ones.